Of course, it's Jeremy Stevens. We're back here in the program. Gilbert Melendez coming up for him. Big fight, UFC 215. September 9th up in Alberta, Canada, of all places. Obviously, I got to ask. Your back's against the wall a little bit with this fight, right? Do you feel like it?
Not really. It's all about how the way you look at situations, especially in life. I feel like his back's more against the wall than mine. Your ass is always on the line when it comes to the UFC. It's unpredictable, but I feel hungry, feel ready to go, and I thrive in situations like this. So if my back's against the wall, I feel like I'll definitely come out on top.
Do you? I mean, obviously, Gilbert came in super highly touted when they finally brought him in. He's expected to do a lot of big things, and he kind of really hasn't. You said it, like you kind of feel like his back is against the wall a little bit more than yours. How do you think he's going to approach it then? Do you have any idea? Like, are you guys talking about as part of the game plan? Like, he's going to be a lot more aggressive than he normally is, a lot less aggressive, a lot more tentative. Is there any conversation in your camp of how you think he's going to be with this fight?
Gilbert's a gamer. I think a lot of people really kind of overlooked UFC when they came over, and some of the talent. It's UFC is the best talent in the world. It's a different ballpark, it's a different feel, and when you get paid good money, like I'm one of them guys who's like a top paid guy at featherweight. You got to fight the best of the best. There's no bullshit. So when you get paid, you're fighting the best of the best. I feel like he fought a couple good guys at 155 pounds, and now he wants to try his luck at featherweight, where I'll welcome him. And I think it's just a little bit too late for him. I feel like he's getting older. Now he's got to take a weight cut, and he's getting used to losing. I think this is his fourth fight. It'd be his fifth loss or whatever it may be. But I'm not the one to come down to and try your luck out at featherweight. So I'm looking forward to a great fight. Gilbert, like I said before, he's a gamer. He brings it. He's a fighter. He's not somebody that I'm going to have to look for or chase around the octagon, or that I'm going to look, for a guy to outpoint me. He's gonna come forward. He's going to try to set the pace, and we're going to collide for sure.
So let's say the roles were reversed, and you all of a sudden decided, like I'm having a really hard time at 45. Well, let me put it this way: do you think it's a good choice for anybody at any weight class to try to drop weight if they seem to be in shape and having pretty good success for that weight? Is the answer to get back into the win column dropping a weight class?
Some people tried it. Anthony Pettis did. Anthony Pettis he's kind of gotten bigger over the years. You know, is what it is. And he tried to make that weight cut, and just he said that when he had fought, he just felt like shit, and then he went back up, and then he went back to some success. I think a lot of times people get in their own heads. When they're losing, they question their camp, they question their coaches, and in all honesty, if you fought the guy 10 times, you might go 5 for 5. It could be anybody's night on that night. It's just it's two top people going against each other. It's the best in the world. That's why champions change so fast. Champions only last maybe 2-3 fights, and then boom, some random knocks them out, and they're like, man, what the hell? It's like, well, things change, and when you're fighting top competition, it could be a simple thing as a mistake or underestimate, or just the guy just came out and crushed you that night. That happens, and it's a tough sport to be in, but that's what we love to do, and that's kind of the thrill of it as well.
And going back to Pettis for a second, I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe that Duke Rufus said that as a coach, that was one of his biggest mistakes, was allowing Pettis to drop down a weight class. He should have kept him up, talked him out of it, and just kept him, working on his technique and his talent to stay at that weight class, and it would have been much better. I'm not sure. I still have to interview Gilbert. I haven't got him yet. I'm supposed to have him either later today or tomorrow, and I'm not sure him dropping weight class is the answer. I think he is a talented guy, but dropping the weight class, it might be the answer. It might not be the answer. But right now, 45 is not easy. People are like, oh, because Connor's not in 45, it must be easier now. But Max Holloway's a young, tremendous champ. Forgive me. I'll have to look and see, but you're ranked. Yeah, you're ranked 8th right now at the weight class, according to UFC.com. You're ranked 8th, and Gilbert's ranked 15th. Now, understand what I just said. Gilbert's ranked 15th. You're ranked 8th. These are two superior studs in a weight class that are 8th and 15th. That means there's, according to the UFC, there's 7 guys that are better than you, and you're a stud. How is this weight class easier? How is this weight class going to be better than 55? You guys are really, in my personal opinion, I think 45 now is a tougher weight class than 55 is, just because so many guys are trying to duck out of 55, either going up to 70 because they're getting older and bigger, or they're trying to revamp and getting smaller like Gilbert is. Do you guys kind of feel the same way where you're like, call me tomorrow, I'm going to fight Max again? You lost a decision to him not too long ago, but it was a close decision. It wasn't like you got overwhelmed and outbeat, that you could very easily be in the title. Like, you could very easily take it, like you said. Max beat you the first time, but you might beat him a second time. All of a sudden, now you're the champ, and you're 8th. Do you feel like that 45 is becoming a tougher weight class in the UFC than 55 really is?
I think both of them match up really well. I think a lot of 45ers compete with the 55. There's not really much of a difference, too much. There, maybe a couple pounds, but as far as the skill level, the fight IQs, and some of the top guys could definitely match up and fight at 55 or do a catch weight. And I guarantee there'd be some fireworks. There's some great matches up at 55. I mean, shit, I think about going back up at 55 and fighting a couple 55 matches because sometimes people duck me, or I have to wait for a contender or whatever it may be. There's not as many 45ers as there is 55s, but there's definitely some interesting fights. And people fight me different. Max Holloway, just the guy I recently just fought. Everybody fights me a little bit different, and I definitely learned from my past 2 fights, especially if I fought Frankie again. I was kind of like in and out of alliance and dealing with some personal stuff, but all squared away. I'm back with Eric Del Fiero. I have a great fight IQ with him. Me and him just connect on a level that's just phenomenal. It's like a father son type deal, and I love having him in my corner. And we just really been connecting. Even before I got this fight, we've been dialed in and focused. So, uh, you know the thing is too is now there's no IVs. That's also a factor. When I first went down to 45, I sucked up a lot of weight, but I ended up getting an IV. It was probably one of the worst weight cuts that I had at 45 was my first one, but went in and performed well. It seems like whenever I have a bad weight cut, I end up doing my best. So, um, but for him, I think he's like 34, maybe older. There's no IVs, and at that age, and to make 145 pounds, I kid you not, my workload has even gotten more heavier now that I'm in this weight class. I actually handle it very well. I'm on a great program now. I know what it takes to be there. I've done it several times. I've fought with the best of the best, and I'm ready. And coming off 2 losses. And like I said, getting back with Eric Del Fiero, my IQ has gotten a lot sharper, and I've learned from my mistakes. And I feel like he's in an unknown zone. He's on multiple losses. He's getting older. His body's beat down. He's been in a lot of wars, and he's fighting a young, hungry kid who's. I feel like my fight IQ is better. I feel like I'm faster, I'm stronger, and I'll be a step ahead of him the whole time. I never got tossed around at 155 pounds. I'm a strong 145 pound guy, and the way he fights is a perfect stylistic matchup for me. And like I said, we're going to be a step ahead, and we're going to put it on him.
Go back to Frankie Edgar. You lost a decision to him, and then all of a sudden, the rumor is that he's going to fight for the title next. Like, that's what they're trying to jam up. And it's like that. So essentially speaking, you beat Gilbert, you win one more fight, you're back in the title hunt. Like, that's basically what's happening again. And so you're always right there in the cusp. Let's say it's you do get that title shot, and you fought both guys that potentially rumored to be fighting for the championship next. Lost the decision to both of them. What do you do differently against Max Holloway to win this next time?
I definitely am not going to chase him. I would stick to the center and make it a boring fight. It's a blessing and a curse that I have. This last fight, I chased the guy. I got taken down easily, and he basically just pointed me, and he drew me in. And like I said, I didn't have my coaches, no excuses. He was a better guy that night, but he won on points. Same with Max. He just ran around. I chased him, and he kind of did the same game plan. And learning that now, it's taken me a couple of fights to make those adjustments. I would just make it boring and kind of do what he did to Ricardo Lamas, like come right back here. I'm not moving anywhere but the center. Eventually, he's going to have to come in, and then I'm going to connect my shots, go to the body, and then follow up to the head. And let him just run around, let him come into something. If he fights Frankie Edgar, I feel like Frankie will beat him. I think Frankie is a little bit sharper with the fight IQ, and Frankie's wrestling is definitely no joke. Uh, he's solid on top. He's solid in the stand up. He's solid on the ground. He's pretty much well rounded. And I think it's a great competitive fight. I think it'll be a lot closer than what people think, but I feel Frankie with the wrestling comes out on top.
So what happens when now Frankie's the champ and you got to battle him? So how are you going to beat him now after you've already had one decision lost to him?
Same thing. Just keep to the center. Let him come in. Let him run into some shots. Don't chase him. Work on cutting him off and having Eric Del Fiero in my corner that for that night. I was head hunting a lot. Stick to going to the body and breaking his legs, but not chasing him. Kind of like Jose Aldo did. Jose Aldo just kind of slowly just kind of cut him off, and then when he felt like he was running, he would just go right back to the center. Eventually, Frankie just had to come in and try taking him down. I felt like I did really good with Frankie Edgar, stuffing a lot of his takedowns and then popping up. A lot of people can't do that with Frankie. A lot of people can't back up, and that's one thing that I can do. If Gilbert decides to take me down or happens to get me down, I'll pop up. I'll get taken down 15 times. I'll pop up 16. You're not going to hold me down. I'm too strong. I'm too witty on the ground. My hips are too good, and it's like that movie that you ever seen with was it Adam Sandler? Was it like Baby Boy? He's got like his son or something like that.
Oh, what is that? The little kid. What was that thing? I know what you're talking about though. I can't remember. They lived in the apartment in New York City, and it was like,
Yeah, remember
yeah,
he bet. Remember he bet on that the fat guy to win, and at the end of the movie, they're like, "Oh, the fat guy's winning,"
yeah,
and he's running. He's like drinking milk, and he falls down, and he's like, "Get the fuck up!"
yeah.
So every time like I get taken down, I always think of that line. Get the fuck up.
Get up, get up. Yeah, yeah.
So
That's good. That's actually a good memory to have in your head when you're in the middle of a fight. So, but unfortunately speaking, though, obviously the fight with Gilbert, you're going to have to approach it the same kind of way. You're going to have to kind of sit in the center, make him come to you, which has got to be super tough for you because you're an exciting fighter. And now you're talking about two potential champs that you're going to have to fight boringly to be able to win the fight. And you kind of have to do the same thing with Gilbert. Says 3 fights, you have to kind of fight boringly to win. And that's totally out of your style. Like you're a guy that wants to go out there and crack and wrestle and drive against the cage and do as much work as you possibly can and almost outwork your opponent where they get exhausted and then you're able to finish them because they can't keep up with your pace. But it sounds like you're having to mature a little bit more and step back and find a way to and take a couple of boos from the fans because nothing's happening because you've got to make sure you get these victories.
booing me, that's the thing. I don't mind. Patience is perfect, and it's going to be a beautiful thing come Saturday night. Patience is going to be very key. And like I said, my fight IQ's gotten a lot sharper. I feel really good with Eric Del Fiero, but definitely they ain't going to be booing me. Guys fight me a lot different. I don't mind sticking to the center because if they're going to be booing, they're going to be booing the guy who's running around while I'm pointing to the center. Like you're going to have to come in, and when they do. They ain't going to be booing when the guy's knocked out on the canvas and I just gave him a highlight reel finish. That's the thing. Me, like I said, when me and Eric Del Fiero get together, man, it's a human highlight reel. So I'm looking forward to it. If they boo, they boo. Fuck them. I'm at least 2 or more checks, so I'll be happy.
So, if you can't talk about it, it's totally fine. I just wanted to ask. You said you're going through some personal problems before some of your other fights. What was going on? Anything? Can you talk about it, or is it stuff you want to keep private?
It was just a mix-up in between camps. I had some coaches around me that just weren't necessarily a head coach, and they were just kind of getting in my ear, and I was just kind of trailing off, doing other things, and I should have just been sticking to what I know, what I do best, and with the right team, and that's really all I can comment on.
So we're talking. It seems like the basis of this interview is you growing up as a fighter. Like that's kind of what we're getting at. You made some mistakes in your other fights. That's why you lost. You fixed it. You're back with Eric. You're talking about, look, I can't be that same guy when I'm chasing guys against the cage. I gotta grow. Are these tough changes to make? Was it really? I mean, obviously, going through 2 losses is going to make you make up your mind really quickly about where you're training because you got to get that's money out of your pocket. You lost 2 win bonuses. That's a lot of money you're losing. But learning how to develop better as a fighter, it's tough to do. Is it difficult changes for you to really go? All right, I know this is practice, but I got to stay right here in the middle of the cage during practice, even because I can't chase this guy around. Is it hard? Or was it hard to start?
No, not really. It's always been there. You know, like I said, it's a blessing and a curse. You know, when I go after people, sometimes they just get knocked the fuck out. You know, or I'm around beating them down, or but with these the only way that I've lost to the top guys, they haven't smashed me, they haven't submitted me, they haven't knocked me out. When you look at the way they fight other guys, they're demolishing them. They're beating these guys. It's just a patience thing with me. I have to be patient, and when I do, I'm going to be playing the game, because all they're doing is outpointing me. That's it. They're not doing anything that I don't know or that I haven't seen. I fought the best of the best. The only thing they're doing is just game planning against me, doing a point system. They're not going in there to fight me like I'm trying to fight them, and that's maybe the reason why they're running like a gazelle and a lion's coming after them. Now I have to take a look at that. It's a hard pill to swallow when you're going home with one check to your family, but I have to take a look at that and go, okay, what is the fucking problem? And the problem is just very simple. Be patient. I'm a natural born killer. All I have to do is sit back, relax. Okay. And if I get them rocked and hurt them, I'm a shark. If I smell the blood, I'm definitely going to go for the finish. And the key component was just sitting down and saying, "Hey, relax. Patience is perfect. Don't worry about anything else. Just be patient. Be perfect. It's all gonna come. And when it comes, it comes hard. So I'm ready to go."
Jeremy, I love it. Thanks so much for coming out here, man. I know it's Saturday and it's a little bit more time. I forget, forgive me for forgetting. Your family's with you down in San Diego, right?
Yeah, they're actually back in Iowa right. I have a wedding coming up after the fight. I've actually pushed my wedding date back. I got a cool fiance. She went ahead and I was supposed to get married tomorrow. And when I got a fight call to
Yeah.
take an opportunity, these opportunities ain't going to be coming, in 10 years down the road. So, for the fans, for what I love to do, this is definitely what I love to do. My fiance understands that. We pushed the wedding date back to the end of the month, and we got asked to take care of first. So Gilbert's on the hit list.
Wow, I didn't realize that she had to push it by a month to get push your wedding date by a month for the fight. But you're right. When UFC calls, it's your paycheck. That's how you make your money. If you're not fighting, you're not getting paid. So I'm sorry, hon, we got to push it by a little bit. You guys gonna get married in Iowa? That's where you guys gonna get married at?
Get married in Iowa. We're pretty well traveled, but our family is something that we both cherish and love. We have a huge family, both Mexican families, so want to bring everybody together and unify the marriage and the whole deal with the people who've raised us, taught us manners, and the friends and memories that we've all shared. So it's going to be a beautiful thing, and it all starts with a happy ending or a happy beginning come September 9th, 7 days.
Where you guys gonna honeymoon at? Have you decided yet? Or you have to hold off on that too?
Yeah, we haven't. We don't have a honeymoon set plans yet. We're just taking it one step at a time right now. The big thing is we're getting married, so she's happy. It's been almost 10 years that we've been together.
I got to be honest with you. I'm kind of surprised you're getting married. Like I knew you guys have been together forever. I was like, well, there's gonna be one of those couples. They're just always together and there's never gonna get married. This is what they do, and I'm kind of surprised to hear it. I'm super happy and excited for you. But I was like, no, that's just a couple that they're just going to be dating. That's just what they're going to do, and they're going to be okay, and everything's going to be fine. No one has to panic because there's not a ring on it. But now you're putting a ring on it, so it's good.
Exactly, and I think as far as the honeymoon, I know my one of my good friends, Brandon Vera, he's getting married in April over in the Philippines. So we may just go over there and watch their wedding, and then we may just take off. And I've seen like some spas in the jungle and some beautiful places over there. And if you go with Brandon Vera, you got the keys to the city, or basically the whole country. So I'm looking forward to that.
The only person I think you can go with that would give you bigger keys and better access is Manny Pacquiao. That's the only one.
Yeah,
I was in the Philippines. My wife and I went over for her birthday back in May because we have a friend from Vegas that lives there now, and it's his birthday is 2 days before hers. So I went to go celebrate at one time, and every time, as soon as someone sees my ear, they start talking. Do you fight? Whatever, blah blah. within 3 questions, do you know Brandon Vera? That was honestly, it was 3 questions every time. Yes, I know Brandon. Yes, I can call him right now. He's like, he was in the Philippines at the same time I was there, but he was filming a movie, and I couldn't get the set to work because traffic over there is horrible. It's a 2 hour to go 2 miles. You're taking it 2 hours. It's a pain in the ass. So I didn't get to meet up with him, but yeah, 100%, you will have fun if you go over in April. You're definitely going to have fun. But I also see another flaw in your plan. UFC's going to come calling again, and you're going to have to fight at some point right around that.
That's fine. Hopefully, we go to an exotic destination. I'm getting tired of fighting in the States. I like traveling. With this fight in Canada, I don't have any family or friends coming. It's just basically the Navy SEAL team. We're dropping in, executing, collecting check, and rolling out.
And,
So
and dropping out, just like Navy SEAL teams do. We're in and we're out. Perfect. I love it. Well, Jay, have a great rest of your training camp, man. Enjoy it. I can't wait to watch this fight happen on TV. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. This is definitely going to be a fan favorite, and I'll be very surprised if this is not fight of the night. I mean, it's going to take a lot of stuff to make this not be fight of the night. It really is, because for me, this is a huge deal for this fight to go the way it's going to go. So
for sure, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to fighting Gilbert. He's a gamer. He's a true fighter. He's not looking to point. I know he's going to be coming forward, and we're gonna give the fans definitely what they want. So I appreciate it.
You got it, brother. Have a great time. We'll talk to you later.
Hey, you too, man. Thank you.